If Jesus were alive today, what kind of car would he drive? A Chrysler. Look at you with the hairdo on you too, bud. Time to cut that mullet.
Yeah. I got new clippers for Christmas. I got to break those in.
You cut your own hair?
Yeah.
That explains a lot.
Yeah.
I feel like
I just do a buzz cut.
You're 1 or 2 steps away from like being in a convent or running a convent.
What's a convent? Like a cult?
Like a cult, yeah.
Oh, okay. What would my cult be?
You cut your own hair, you grow your own fucking peacocks,
Well, they kind of grow themselves. We just give them food. We also have goats now. Did I tell you we have goats?
No, you didn't tell me you have goats.
We have goats now.
Her jokes must be pretty good because she's laughing like a banshee on my...
She's like crying right now.
I know. Yeah, her jokes are pretty good. I have one of those mugs. Didn't you have one of these mugs?
I got a couple of those. I've got one right here. Professional smartass.
Hey everyone, I'm Brad from Calgary.
This is Sean from Cambridge, Ontario.
I'm Terry from Cornwall, Ontario.
Hey, this is Larry from Pitt Meadows, British Columbia, and you're listening to the Towing Life podcast.
Welcome to the Towing Life podcast, where the ditches are deep, the trucks are loaded, but the drivers are not. I'm your host, TowManG, and as usual, I'm joined by my co-host, friend, and former co-worker, the man with very strong opinions, Mr. PlainGuy. Also joining us this week is our wonderful producer, Sarah, that keeps everything going behind the scenes. Even when she's not here, she's helping us out immensely. So welcome, producer Sarah.
Wow.
I really appreciate it.
You told me to step my game up, so I stepped my game up. So just appreciate it, would you?
I appreciate it. Thank you.
I give you an A+.
Thank you. That's the best compliment I've ever received from you, ever.
Oh, don't worry. I'm going to tear you down later.
Oh, great.
Well, as G said, welcome to the Towing Life podcast. Another week has passed, which means another episode is here, full of fun, entertainment. Fun. I don't know about entertainment. Entertainment is up for you to decide. But anytime Sarah's here, there's always entertainment. And I mean, news stories, interesting stuff. The stuff you guys want to know, want to hear. As for G and I, we just bring the fun. I mean, Sarah brings fun too. Sarah, I shouldn't say you don't bring fun. You didn't do the assignment. That we're going to get to our little game a little later on, but you did manage to put together some research for us for some stories that we'll talk about today. But before we get into all that, because we tend to wander and ramble and go on every which way, but the way we intended to go when the episode starts, if you are looking to get a hold of the show, wow, my camera's moving. Oh my God, we're already having technical difficulties. Look at this. Your comments, questions, concerns are always appreciated on the show. You can reach us by visiting www.towinglife.ca. You can email us at thetowinglife@gmail.com. You can find us on Facebook at the Towing Life podcast. And if you're watching over on the YouTube side, as I always forget, do not forget to hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the comment, say hi. Just write hi. Hi, TowManG. I beat up enough on TowManG, and YouTube is completely his baby. So take the time to, in the comments, let TowManG know how great of a job he is doing on the YouTube side of it to make up for all the hell I give him week in, week out on the show.
I would just like to point out that Mr. PlainGuy has a pen that he's been fiddling with for the last 26 minutes that we've been in this room, and he'll continue to fiddle with it. Also, another thing I'd like to point out, he gave me a compliment to start the show off, which threw him so off the ball. He didn't ask any one of us how we're doing today.
How are you, G? How are you, Sarah?
I'm doing pretty good. And you?
I'm doing all right. It's been a busy week. Winter is here. As we've been talking about week in, week out at this point, because winter came fast and winter came hard. And it has been nonstop. So, yes, I apologize for forgetting to ask how you both are today. That your intro caught me so off guard. The level of professionalism that you brought, that I was like, wow, are we doing the same show? Maybe I should change up my style, because obviously this isn't the same show we've been doing for 73 episodes.
4.
So, well, this is 74. 73 exactly. Prior to this.
Oh, okay.
So, thank you. Sarah, how are you?
I'm doing well. The weather's warmed up in Georgia finally. It got to minus 13 Celsius, I should say, but minus 13 down here.
I actually seen a lot of posts coming out of the States on there was a cold front that went through a big part of the United States, and they were showing negatives on the Fahrenheit, which I don't know what does -1 Fahrenheit actually equate out to in Celsius? Like when they hit sub-zero, like
isn't it -20 is the same in both? No, it's not
-40.
-20. Yeah. So it was 8 degrees Fahrenheit here, and it was -13 Celsius. So that's
okay. Oh yeah, if they get into the negatives in Fahrenheit, it's cold. It's cold. It's cold.
Well, and
Southerners.
I was looking at my Canadian family, and they was -20 Fahrenheit, and so they were making fun of me for being cold. But the thing is we're not prepared for it the way Canada is. Our pipes burst, like things, everything goes.
Yeah, I guess your homes wouldn't be as insulated.
Mm-mm. Our heat couldn't keep up.
Wow.
Really? Really? Okay, yeah. So again, it is just different climates, different regions. No, I was seeing as we were dealing with snow and freezing rain and everything else, the western provinces were dealing with a severe cold. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I don't envy you guys right now because I don't mind snow. I don't mind sleet. I don't mind freezing. I mean, freezing rain I kind of hate. But that bitter cold where it just chills you to the bone and you can never warm up until at night when it's just enough time to go home, warm up a minute, and have to go right back out. So I do not.
And then you're extra cold.
Yeah, then you're extra cold.
But we're kind of screwed right now because we got like 2 feet of snow and then like a bunch of rain.
Yeah,
dude,
so we are flooded and muddy, and it is not good.
Yeah, it is ugly out there. So before G so politely interrupted me, there's your first insult of the day. If you want to head over to thetowinglife.ca/shop, you can see all the amazing merch that we have on sale. We've been adding. I just added another one this week. Every week I try and add one new design. So check in regularly, check in often, towinglife.ca/shop to get your merch. I've got one of our mugs sitting over here, put it up in front of the camera, that I've ordered right through.
I've got that exact shirt on the left there sitting just out in my living room. The only problem is it's on the back, so you can't really see it.
So yeah, head on over regularly, check out what we got. We're always updating, we're always adding more. And don't forget, BakPul Hitches, our wonderful sponsors over at BakPul Hitches, been with us now. It seems like forever that we've been dealing with the fine folks over at BakPul. We are the exclusive Canadian vendor of the BakPul Hitch. Never be overweight again. The BakPul Hitch. Head over to towinglife.ca/BakPul, BakPul, for more information on that and to get yours today. What else did we have going on there? So I'm so lost. I'm lost.
Where's that professionalism gone?
I went out the window 20 minutes ago waiting for producer Sarah to get her jokes ready.
Did you put your pen down?
I dropped it.
Yeah, that was right there when you dropped the pen.
Oh, yeah, I needed to mark that. Okay, so Sarah, while I look for my pen, why don't you go into the article that you've pulled out for this week's towing news? Dun, dun, dun.
All right. So this is, unfortunately, out of Saskatchewan.
What do you mean, unfortunately?
I don't mean there's anything unfortunate about Saskatchewan. I'm just saying this news is unfortunate because
they named the town Saskatoon.
What's wrong with Saskatoon?
There's a lot of negativity coming out of Saskatchewan.
I think that's a type of berry. But anyway.
Anywho.
Mind blown.
What makes it unfortunate is that since it's the first province to allow blue lights, you would hope such a story doesn't come out of Saskatchewan. But a tow truck driver was hooking up a tractor trailer unit, a down semi, and there was, I guess, a driver and a passenger in the semi truck. And then another semi truck hit the tow truck and the tractor trailer as they were hooked up, and they all went into the ditch. Fortunately, while all three, the passenger, the driver of the down semi, and the tow truck driver went to the hospital, there was non-life-threatening injuries. But it still begs the question of what's it going to take for people to stop running into tow truck drivers?
People to stop driving? At the end of the day, it's going to come down to people stop driving. You're right. You know, Saskatchewan was one of the first provinces with the blue lights.
Mhm.
You know, they pushed awareness well, just like they have across all the provinces and all the states.
Yep.
And just still see these accidents happen is it beats you up, right?
I think it's been 5 years since they got blue lights. 4 or 5 years.
But it's when does it end? Like what do we have to do as an industry to stop it? I guess it never is going to stop, right? It's something that it's sad to say, but you almost have to accept is never going to completely come to an end, right? It's an unnecessary risk. It's something that we shouldn't have to deal with on the daily on top of our regular duties.
Yep.
But at the same time, I don't know. You hear these stories year after year, month after month, day after day from different areas in North America, and you see the stats, right? We push those stats all the time. How many operators are hit and killed in the line of duty? Luckily, like I said, the operator and everyone involved in this accident, although we're checked out by our ambulance or at the hospital, walked away without any severe life-threatening injuries.
Mm-hmm.
How many feet difference could that have changed the whole scenario?
Yeah.
Right. We had James Rush on. We've seen his accident. How quick that happens, and the difference between standing here and standing here, what the final outcome is. It's terrible to hear these, and it's I don't know the word I'm looking for, but it just absolutely beats you down to see these articles and to see the sadness, to see this wreckage of the truck that G pulled up on the screen here. Like that spot by those back wheels.
Yeah.
That's where your controls are.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing he was hopefully on the other side, and that's why he managed to walk away with minor injuries.
It sounds like he was already hooked up.
Yeah, but
So
he would have
I
been
think
winching, they said. If you're winching, you're running the controls. You don't.
Yeah, it looks like his stiff legs are still down, so he would be winching stationary, not driving ahead and trying to pull the semi.
He was he was attempting to winch out at the time.
Yeah, so he would have been standing. He decided to stand on what I'm going to say was the safest side. I'm assuming here. We can only, we don't know exactly where we're standing, but judging by that amount of damage and his injuries, I'm going to hope he wasn't standing on the driver's side, because if he was, I think that it'd be a bigger list of injuries we'd be going over, or possibly, adding a name to the wall of the fallen. But, so he chose to stand on that side, and that saved his life. That shouldn't be the be all end all for how your, how your day should go.
There's only so much we can do as operators. Like, I know, especially on the heavier side of things, when you are hooking up to, especially like a dry van semi, you can't really see lights coming from behind, right? So you just see a disabled tractor trailer sitting on the side of the road. You get up beside it, boom, there's a heavy wrecker in front of it. What can you do in that situation? Early warning, get a flagger out there, like a truck just
traffic
behind
control units,
traffic control, a flagger, depending on the type of road it is. If you want to drop it down to a one lane, if you have the ability to do that, there's all these things that we can do. But obviously the lights were visible. The casualty was down the ditch, hooked up to a winch line, and the truck that hit the casualty and the tow truck, well, it hit the casualty first and then the tow truck.
It looks like it, yeah.
So obviously it could see the lights just from how we can see the pictures here. We weren't there. But if you can see the tow truck, either you weren't paying attention or you just don't care.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, you can do as much as you want and be as safe as you want, which is good. And I implore everyone to be as safe as they can be out there and take all the proper steps to ensure your safety. But if someone's going to hit you, they're going to hit you regardless if they got to go through a Jersey barrier or not.
I just looked up what implore meant. You actually used it in the right context.
Did I? Content? Yeah. I used it in the right content?
Beg someone earnestly and desperately to do something. Wow. I was like, I'm pretty sure
game up, okay?
He just Pungati'd again, but no, he got it right. No, it's, we don't want to bring light to it at the same time. It's something that, it's going to happen. We hate to see it happen.
There is one thing that normally helps, and that is a police officer, police car or something, because the motoring public, unless there is any potential thing that can hurt them or impact them in that moment, they won't change their driving habits.
it's not even hurt them. Running into the back of a wrecker is going to hurt them.
No, I mean,
It's
like,
true. Unless there's like going to
hurt
be a
them financially,
consequence. Yeah.
right?
Unless
Is
there's
there
gonna be
any
a consequence.
negative repercussions from their actions at this time?
Yeah, one that they consider, because they obviously
Yes.
don't consider the harm that'll come to them, but they do
There's
consider the ticket that could be coming their way for not moving over for a police officer, which is so sad.
Yeah.
It is so sad.
But it
Society
works.
is so selfish in so many ways. The general motoring public is unbelievably selfish, right?
Yeah.
We've seen this in the last snowstorm where we had a road that was closed. They put up signs at the end of the road. The road is closed because the snow drifts were piling up. I'm in there in this whiteout, and I came through where the sign was closed, obviously, to get to this vehicle. And I'm doing a winch out in a complete whiteout, and a guy pulls up right behind me. I look back and I go, "You're gonna have to turn around." Why? Because the road is closed. That's why there's a sign.
Yeah.
Have a little bit of common. It is that asshole that would be the guy that would run into the back of this wrecker, because at that point in time, his priorities, whatever it is he was going to do, were more important than his safety, than the safety of anyone else that could be on this road in these whiteout conditions. That's why they closed the road. He was above all of that. So those people, that portion, and I don't want to say it's a huge portion, but it's definitely a portion of the motoring public, is the people that are not going to change, because at the end of the day, it's they are who they are, and you know, but it's a selfish mentality that I think the motoring public has, and this is the end result. This gentleman
I was watching a video. I can't remember if it was in US or Canada. I think it was in Canada. They had a problem with people speeding through this one intersection and running the red light all the time. So instead of putting up a red light camera or whatever, they noticed anytime there was a police officer there, the speeding went down tremendously, and so did running of red lights. So instead of posting a unit there all the time, what they did is they did a wooden cutout of an officer, and they stuck him there in the intersection. And speeding and running red light has gone down like 30%. Even though people know that it's fake, they still see that person of authority and that authority figure, and they change their mentality to drive accordingly to it.
until the cardboard cutout tries to pull them over and they pull out their cell phone and start recording. And then
But
all
it's-
respect they have for anything goes out the window.
It's if we have a police car behind us at every scene, do you think people would be more like, do you think they would associate the police car into better driving habits, or just because we are a tow truck with yellow and blue flashy lights, they don't give a crap?
They don't give a crap. They don't give a crap. A cop will affect it, but ultimately not change it. There will always be accidents that happen. That is why they do call them accidents. 90% of them are avoidable. 95% of them are probably avoidable. Hell, that number might even go to 99% of them are avoidable. But it's definitely something that can help. But your police force out in your area going to attend every call?
No.
Right? It's not going to happen. Companies need to do the best to protect their own. But again, then nobody wants to pay for it. Fine, I'll start bringing a traffic truck. You know how many people are not going to want to pay for that traffic truck?
Yeah.
Well,
But at what point does your company just say, okay, we'll eat the cost of the traffic truck to help save our employees or our equipment?
I mean, if you want to use that argument, you can cut the cost on everything.
Yeah.
If it, you know, I mean, that's a cost of business. Bill for what you use, bill for what you need, and the general public can eat it.
Yeah.
Right? Like, no, why should I have to absorb the cost of keeping my employees safe whenever you can just pay it? Because you know what? You're the person out in the general public. You're the person that requires the assistance. Why should me as a business absorb that cost?
Yeah.
Right? That's my view on it.
It's a double-edged sword, and unfortunately, it's always going to be that way.
Yep. Producer Sarah, who's wrong? Who's right? This is where you come in. You can tell him he's wrong. He's a big boy. He's used to it.
Well, I agree, but I think it's idealistic that I wish every accident could be followed up by a police car.
Or a
But
crash flag or something.
Yeah. I know that there's a couple of guys out on Vancouver Island that have actually outfitted their own flagger trucks.
Yeah.
And that every accident that's on a major highway, they're out there with their own trucks and they're fighting the good battle. They have gone up and down the law, and they've figured out that rear facing red flashing lights below the tailgate are allowed, but what is it? CVS or whatever out there keeps trying to pull them over and saying they can't have them, and they're just trying to protect their trucks. Like, it's the most frustrating battle I've ever witnessed. I've watched these guys for 2 or 3 years try and fight this battle, and they just want to protect their tow operators. I don't understand the resistance.
If you watch show Highway Through Hell, how many of Jamie Davis's flagging trucks have been crunched in the series that it's been running?
We have aero units. We have pickup trucks with full strobe light setups, yellow and white, because that's what we allow in our province, with fold up aero boards. I will admit the fold up aero board is much more effective than any regular strobes. Right, those big flashing aero lane over. We use them. I mean, we were recently doing recoveries out of the median of the 401, and the OPP, when we went out, we sent out our aero, and the OPP wanted to be ahead of our aero.
Wow.
It went aero, OPP, and then tow trucks.
Wow.
Which, I mean, in this case, we were just slightly over a bit of an incline, so the aero could be seen a little farther back. But yeah, a lot of the cops want to be between the aero because they even recognize the effectiveness of it. You go to Quebec, and we shit on Quebec a ton. Almost all their cruisers on the highway have aero boards on them, have fold-up arrows on them, right? Because they've realized the effectiveness of these arrows. Right. And then there was laws at first crash trucks because it had to be a certain weight. It had to be all these things. I don't believe Ontario recognized these aero trucks for a long time, and they're slowly starting to come around to it. So anything you can do to protect yourself, obviously a vehicle blocking is ideal, properly set up, properly equipped, a driver strapped in, seatbelted in. When we're in that aero truck, I've ran it a bunch. The truck's in drive. The truck's in drive with your foot on the brake the whole time because you're watching
on neutral
behind you. No, because I've had many times where, they're gonna, and you get on it to get out of the way. If my
I thought that was the whole point, is you take the impact.
No, you're an early warning device. There's still a big enough gap that I can still take the impact. But I'd rather, if I have the opportunity to take the impact at 80 to 0 to be at 80 to 60 and have them rear end me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm not.
At least you wouldn't be stationary at that time. You'd already be moving.
Exactly. Yeah. So no, you'd try, and then hopefully it gets them on the brakes right before they run into you, before going up into the scene that way. So
air horns. I see a lot of people running air horns now too.
Rear facing air horns would be great.
Yeah.
I wonder if the slow down move over laws are considered or used during the driving tests nowadays.
Probably not. There's no.
I doubt it.
In the drive. They cut parallel parking out. You think they're going to add?
They cut parallel parking out.
In Ontario, they did. Yeah, they cut 10 minutes off the test to help clear up the backlog. And that was one of the things, was the parallel parking.
So that's why towing volume has increased in our area.
Yeah, because the test got easier.
Yeah,
exactly. So, anyways, we hope well wishes and recoveries to the bruised and banged operator out of Swift Current. I believe it was Swift Current. Going back,
with a name like Swift, it's got to be good.
Saskatoon berry is a twiggy native shrub growing to 5 meters tall. It has soft green oval leaves and clusters of delicate white flowers in the spring, followed by delicious purple black berries in the summer. I looked it up while you were telling this terrible story headline. I was actually Googling, is Saskatoon a type of berry?
What a nice botany lesson.
Right? It's right next to my tab I have open for searching the definition of implore.
So, welcome to the Towing Life podcast. You have got your allotted 20 minutes of towing content. Let's move on to something else that's a little maybe funny.
Let's have some fun. So we are going to play a game. Not like games. Games are fun. The game is simple. It's don't laugh. The whole goal of the game is we are going to take turns going around telling jokes. Preferably not, I seen Sarah going on earlier with her husband. Preferably not 8-hour-long jokes. These are supposed to be quick little zingers.
I only have one.
You only have one joke or one long one?
One long joke.
That's fair.
It's worth it.
Okay, I'm in.
We'll be the judge of that.
Yeah, 100%. So you will go around. We will take turns going around saying our jokes. If you laugh at any point in response to one of the jokes, or while you're telling your own joke, wink, wink, hint, hint, producer Sarah,
she's
you will automatically be docked a point. I'm hoping TowManG takes this opportunity to put the points up on the screen.
We'll be adding points. We won't be taking away points today.
Yes, you will be adding points. The person with the least amount of points wins. What do they win? I don't know. We really got to work on getting actual
Bragging rights until we do the next game, just like Jeopardy.
bragging rights that what? You're the most emotionless of the bunch? That's pretty much
Yes.
what you're winning by not
The
laughing.
most heartless.
Oh, man, I definitely have a chance at this title. So that'll be simple.
looking
I have
good for me.
randomly drawn who's going to go first. And we are going to start with producer Sarah.
Oh boy.
Ooh, I knew it. Okay, I'll start simple. A horse walks into a bar. The bartender says, "Hey." The horse says, "Sure."
I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you. I'll mark a point. You can't cover your face. That's cheating. Nice try, producer Sarah. I won't give you the point, but I'll give you that one. It's right up my alley of funny.
Okay,
Oh,
so what order are
TowManG.
we going? Me next, then you?
Yes, sir. TowManG, you are up next.
What did the fish say when he swam into a wall? Damn.
I'm gonna suck at this game.
I'm laughing at you.
That counts.
Okay.
It counts.
I tried to get the worst dad jokes out
Oh,
there.
Sarah, you got
I'm
one.
such a sucker for dad jokes.
Oh, that was a good one. Damn. Oh, I
Yeah, I
thought I
gotta-
would be pretty good at this. I'm laughing already, and they're not even that
Oh.
good.
My cheeks already hurt.
What does the shellfish get after they work out?
I don't know.
Muscles. No, nothing. All right.
You laughed at your own joke again.
Oh, I know. I'm arguing it. Don't worry. That's 3-1. Producer Sarah, you're up.
So my friend showed me his tool shed. He pointed to his stepladder and said, "I never knew my real ladder."
I didn't.
Oh,
laugh.
I get it.
I
It's a
smiled.
pun on like stepfather. I get it.
Mhm, mhm.
Okay.
Does that count as a laugh, G? Or I don't know. I smiled.
I don't know
tried-
if I get it. This counts.
I'm trying to. I disassociated pretty hard to try and avoid laughing at one for once. He's laughing now. All right.
Yeah, because it's my turn, okay?
Okay.
It's
He's laughing at his
my
joke
turn
there.
before I say the joke. All right, just to get you amped up.
I'm disassociating so hard with this to try not to laugh.
Why can't a nose be 12 inches long? Because then it would be a foot.
There's so many more dirty ways that I sense that joke going. It went to none of them. Sarah's trying very hard right
We're going to
now.
give you an aneurysm by the time this is done, aren't we?
This is terrible. This is my nightmare.
What does a duck use to fart? His butt quack. All right. I'm laughing because of her, but I'm still going to have to. She was laughing before I got to the punchline. She got. Oh my God. She got there before the punchline. She knew what was coming. And she
I did. I
lost
have
it.
to center myself again. Whew.
So it is 4 PlainGuy, 1 TowManG, 2 producer Sarah.
Oh, I'm doing all right.
You're doing
Hey,
good.
I'm-
You're heartless. Oh my.
All right. What did the horse say when it fell down? "Help, I've fallen and I can't giddy up."
So dumb. I don't want to laugh.
All right.
The dumber they are, the funnier they are.
Oh, that's what makes it so good. And I find the longer this goes on, the worse it gets because they are just like stupid. You go, all
I'm
right.
going to pull out a heavy hitter for this one. So just
Oh boy, I'm already behind.
buckle up.
I'm already behind the 8 ball. We're in trouble.
Did you know I used to be addicted to the hokey pokey? But then I turned myself around.
Really, Sarah? Can't believe you're even entertaining that one.
I laughed at it too. Give me a point.
All right,
That was great. I'm gonna use that one. I'll tell it wrong, but I'm gonna use it.
I knew that one already. That's what helped whenever I
Oh,
heard it
okay.
coming out. A man walks into a psychiatrist's office wearing nothing but saran wrap. Psychiatrist looks at him and says, "Well, I can clearly see your nuts." That's Sarah. No, G? Nothing?
No, not really.
Oh, that was a good one.
It was
I'm trying to
good. I will give you
It was
that.
good.
It was
Yeah,
good.
I like that one.
I warn you guys, they get dirtier as we go.
I tried to stay with clean jokes.
I have a couple.
Yeah.
I have one that's
Okay.
pretty bad.
Okay.
We'll get to it.
I stuck with clean jokes, but I have a priest, a minister, and a rabbit walk into a blood bank. The rabbit says, "I think I'm a typo."
It's actually good. I like that one. I'm not laughing at its funniness. I'm laughing at its cleverness, but I will still mark it.
It's pretty clever. You know, my mom-in-law told me that joke, and she's about as good at telling jokes as I am. That's why I love it so much.
My the butt quack one was my wife. She wanted to make sure I gave her credit on that. That was her one. I was telling her what we
I'm
were
going
doing.
to tell that
today.
one to my husband after.
Yeah, she said, "Can I give you one?" And I was like, "Okay, sure." And then I laughed, and I was like, "All right, that works."
Oh,
All right.
aha. So I got fired from my job at the bank today. An old lady asked me to check her balance, so I pushed her over.
Yeah. That's awful. I'm laughing at her, not the joke.
Yeah, I'm laughing at her too. Your laugh is contagious.
Yes.
Oh,
Well,
thanks.
laughs overall are contagious.
Yeah, they really
It's-
are.
All right, so it's 5 PlainGuy or 6 PlainGuy, 2 TowManG, 5 Sarah. Sarah has made the comeback. What do people do when they can't get Shaquille O'Neal on the phone? They just Radio Shack. No, wow, tough
That
guy.
would have been a good joke in 2002.
Come on, it's dad jokes. All of them are old.
Okay, this
Oh.
is my
Last hurrah.
my last hurrah.
Okay.
All right, bear with me. A duck walks up to a lemonade stand and asks, "Got any grapes?" The guy says, "No, we sell lemonade." So the next day, the duck comes back and says, "Hey, got any grapes?" And the guy says, "No, we sell lemonade." The duck does this all week, and each day the guy gets angrier and angrier. Finally, on Friday, the duck comes up and says, "Hey, got any grapes?" And the guy says, "No, we sell lemonade, and if you ask me again tomorrow, I'm going to nail your feet to the ground." The next day, the duck comes up and asks, "Hey, got any nails?" And the guy, confused, says, "No." So the duck says, "Got any grapes?"
I laughed as soon as I heard you say that joke because I heard that back when I was in elementary school and it just brought up a bunch of stupid memories.
I marked your laugh when I seen you while she started that joke.
Yeah. It's just
Wah,
an iconic joke.
It's so good.
There's
My
a little
husband had
song
told
that
it.
goes with it too. Waddle waddle. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's
YouTube
right.
it. YouTube it. It's hilarious.
All right, G, your final joke.
Oh, I got a couple more if we want to keep those going.
I got some.
Keep
too.
going.
Keep going. Don't worry.
That's a pretty good ceiling. It's not the best, but it's up there.
Weak. It's a good one, but it's weak. Okay. Before I get into this one, producer, I don't know if you know this. I feel like G, being the type of guy he is, you guys watch wrestling, right? At one point in your lives?
Yep.
Know of wrestling? Okay.
WWE or
Love
WWF.
Exactly. Okay. What does The Rock call the night he conceived his son? Monday Night Raw.
That's bad.
Really? Nothing?
That's bad.
It's cute, but I'm not warranting a laugh for that one.
I don't know if cute was the word I would go with, but okay.
The day he received his son is called Monday Night Raw.
Conceived.
Conceived his son was
Yeah,
Monday
you know what that
Night
means,
Raw.
G? Conceived?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sarah? Really? Nothing.
Oh, I'm aware.
I'm aware of the context, but
Yes. All right. I thought that was a good one. All right, G, what else you got? Give Sarah a chance.
why do fish live in salt water? Pepper makes them sneeze.
That's Sarah. I stayed up all night trying to figure out where the sun was. Then it dawned on me. She's trying. You can see.
A weasel walks into the bar and the bartender says, "Wow, I've never seen a weasel before. What can I get you?" "Pop," goes the weasel.
My husband just told me that joke. And I
If you
laughed
see
really hard, but I just heard it.
If you see a crime at an Apple store, are you an eyewitness? No? All right. You guys suck. I'm friends with all the letters in the alphabet. I just don't know why. As a writer, I'm disappointed that you didn't crack it that
I'm
one.
slowly getting desensitized. I'm like, I can do this. I can do this. I
She
can do this.
disassociates like the rest of us to find a way to actually get through them. Gee, you got any more
Oh, I can find some more for you here if you really want.
that are worthy?
Oh, that's going to take me a little bit of time.
I have a score right now of 7 for PlainGuy, 3 for TowManG, and 6 for Sarah.
Wow.
So
I didn't lose.
I know. We have learned that G can do really well keeping a straight face.
What do you call a can opener that doesn't work? A can't opener.
I knew that was coming and I still like it.
I'm laughing at her, and that puts us tied.
All right, enough.
I didn't think we were still counting points at that.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. You're still heartless. It's okay. You didn't gain any. You're still heartless.
Okay.
We have definitely much laughier personalities. I don't know. What do you call that, Sarah?
There are 3 types of people in this world: those who count, those who can count, and those who can't.
What?
There are 3 types of people in this world: those who can count and those who can't.
Oh.
That one makes you think a little bit.
No, I think you said it wrong the first time. The second time made more sense.
Yeah.
The second time, that was actually a good one. I won't count that point because I can't count. I'm one of those 3 people. But no, that was fun. You know what? Did I get I even scored mine to see how they stuck. And yeah, they scored very low. The butt quack one definitely took the cake. Won't be using those again.
I like the butt quack one, and I liked the woman getting pushed over.
My sense of humor
I've recorded those.
My sense of humor goes from animals to people getting knocked over. That's about where it goes.
Leave your best one-liners in the comment section down below on the YouTube.
Absolutely. Or by emailing us at thetowinglife@gmail.com. Or like I said, comment down below. Let's hear your best jokes.
Or what was your favorite?
What was your favorite? Or hey, if you got one that's better, you got one that you think will crack us up, send it in, throw it in the comments. Maybe we'll take a read at it one day and see if it holds up as strong. You think this is easy to come up with these jokes? You think we came up with bad ones? Let's see.
We didn't come up with any of these. We stole them like good content creators.
That's true.
Absolutely.
That's true. We stole something that works.
Yeah. Well, we didn't know if it was actually going to work or not. So.
Oh, I mean, when I watched them, I laughed. It's a lot of your delivery, right? It's kind of like your relationships that you have.
Oh, you stole yours right from a video.
Some of them. Yeah, but you can't steal delivery. I don't remember which ones came from where. But no, it's like a lot with your customers. You have to adapt, and it's all about how you deliver. You can be the nicest person in the world and sound like a dickhead.
Yeah.
You're right. We've all got that
me on
coworker.
a good day.
I know. Apparently, I am that coworker. But yeah, so how you tell a joke. Save your best jokes. Tell these one-liners. Most of them were work-friendly, so that you can actually tell these to your customers on those long rides. So
normally, I would not recommend playing this podcast if you got customers in the truck, because for us and everyone in the industry, I would say this show is safe for work, but outsiders looking in, probably not.
I wouldn't play this when you had a customer for 2 reasons. 1, I like to say dumb shit. And 2, your customers don't care. This is not something your customers are going to want a long ride go, oh, who are those fine folks over at the Towing Life podcast? Yeah. I really enjoy them. It's probably not going to happen. They're going to be sitting there with their heads twirling, trying to figure out what we're talking about: winching, semis, casualties, who died.
Do you mind passing the phone charger? My Instagram's running out.
I don't even know what to say to that. So that was our first ever episode of Don't Laugh. We will have it again one day.
If you guys enjoyed it. If you absolutely hated it, then we'll probably just put it on the chopping block and never touch it again.
Sounds like a couple of ideas we've come up with over the year and a half.
Yeah.
So don't forget to comment down below. Visit us at towinglife.ca. Email us at thetowinglife@gmail.com. Let us know what you think about it. And like I said, I want to hear your best shot at it. It's easy to criticize. I want to see your best shot at it.
Remember, while you're down commenting and sending us all those emails, send us your recovery of the month. We need.
Hey, I forgot to mention that.
Yeah, you forgot. You can win a $50 gift card. That's the main thing. You can win the $50 gift card and a spot in our calendar for 2024. So send them to us. It's simple. You go to our website, you enter in all your information, put up a couple of pictures and a description on how you did the recovery and why was it so challenging. There's also a little scale there on 1 to 10 on the difficulty, just to dumb it down for us simpletons who have to judge it. Yeah,
I didn't tell the listeners, and I never even told you guys, we do have a secret judge that'll go unnamed in the background who will also be giving his score on. He's an expert in the industry. And so we will give ours, he will give his, and we will go based on a scale. And the highest point at the end of each month will collect recovery of the month. They will be announced on the show. They will receive a $50 Amazon gift card, and they will receive a spot Canadian in their 2024 calendar. We do have time before we go. Then I want to talk about this post that I found on social media. Just quickly. I hate when a customer has a flat tire and complains about a 35-minute wait because it's cold out. It sounds like your car still runs. Turn the fucking heat on. And this made me laugh so hard because we have definitely had those customers where they have gone and been like, it's kind of cold outside. Okay, what's the problem with your car? I got a flat tire. It's like, so what's the problem? Like,
I'm
what is
broke and I can't afford gas money to let it idle.
Okay, fair. I got a diesel and I don't want to have to deal with a regen. Fair enough. But it's true. It's what customer. It came back to a topic, and I will make sure to re-add it to the list so we can get into it fully next week.
Okay.
But what customers are the worst customers? How would you rank your worst type of customers, whether it be flat tires customers versus boost customers, or are we talking roadside versus charge account garages? What is your worst customer? And we will talk about it more on next week's episode. And
don't miss it, because I'm sure we're going to offend some entitled snowflakes.
Oh, I'm going to go to piss off all the groups of the rainbows. So with that being said, thank you for coming out to another wonderful episode. Producer Sarah, as usual, you keep us together even with your 7 laughing points recorded today. You're always a great addition. You always bring great articles. You always bring the best out of us based on our conversations, based on the little things that you sometimes start with. We tend to go off in every which direction with. So I appreciate you being here once again. TowManG, you have been an amazing co-host over 74 episodes.
Thank you.
I would like to inform you this will be your last. No.
Oh. I was just getting good too.
Let's find out if TowManG is back next week when we talk about rating your worst customers. On behalf of myself, on behalf of TowManG, on behalf of producer Sarah, thanks for listening. We can't wait to see you next time. Take care.
Toodles.
Bye.
You are having me back next week, right?
I'm excited. Sarah and I put it to a vote.
Oh.
And unfortunately, it was unanimous.
I don't get a chance to vote.
Hey, okay, fine. You want a chance to vote? Do you vote on being here next week? Okay, it's still 2-1. I'm kidding. I couldn't be nice to you for a whole episode.
That's fair. It would ruin the flow. I get it. I'm the punching bag. It is what it is.
No, you're not. You do take it really well, though. I will give you that.
I remember episode 1.
Oh, so cringy. So cringy. And G was so monotone and so shy and in his shell. And You know, like, what are we doing here? And now you listen to him and you're like, man, this guy's found his voice. He's found his place. He's being eccentric, using words that I didn't know.
I was going to
helped for
stop
me
the
that I
recording,
had-
but I got to wait till the praise is done before I can end it.